Hey guys, welcome back to another layout update. So it has been forever since I've done my last one. I have no real excuse other than the fact that I get really involved in working on my layout and I don't post updates because I just change so much quickly over a very short period of time. And then other times I don't do anything. So anyway, I'll go ahead and just kind of give you an overview of the progress on the layout. Since my last layout update, I have gotten the majority of the basic scenery done around the layout. Let's do a quick little pan over here so you can see. Got some super trees here. These look really nice. Really happy with how these turned out. This is just with their starter kit. And I got some pine trees from Heki. These also look really nice. Got some, trying out some of the different types of ground covering. This is all done with static grass. Most of the most of the track is all ballasted. I did have to do this was ballasted, as you can kind of tell from the bottom, but I had to replace this turnout. It was an Atlas before, now it's a Pico Electro Frog. All my turnouts are controlled by the Pico, sorry, not Pico, Rapido turnout machines, switch machines. These are really nice because they actually have the ability to control frog power. So I've got them on just about, actually no, I have them on every single turnout going. But heading back on over here, this corner is basically the last corner to really do anything with the grass. Still working on what I'm going to do over here. Tried to make this look like a gravel pile and I used expanding foam underneath it, but didn't glue it. Kind of started to fall. I'm going to have to come back and redo this. Just not really happy with the way this came out. But the industry is fully installed. And I got a couple other buildings over here to go with it. These are really nice things. I bought this one off Facebook. I don't know the maker of the kit, and this is just a Walthers kit that came with the bulk transfer industry. And I got a tank car industry here that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call, but probably Proxon chemicals. Not quite sure what they're going to ship out, but they obviously have to be done in small tank cars because I can't really fit overly anything much bigger than that. Otherwise, it just starts to foul the switch here. But panning on back over here, this is all finished. Got a hydro tower there. Got a number of new cars and everything. It's kind of hard to keep track with all of that, but one of my more recent acquisitions is this CP articulated auto rack that I got off Facebook for $35. I'm really happy with that. Another kit that I got a while ago that I've been slowly working on, still needs a lot of work, but I'm slowly plugging away at it, is this CN Point St. Charles caboose, done by a manufacturer here in Ontario. I think it was like Owen Sound manufacturer, something like that. I've added a lot of extra details onto this to make it look proper. I've added the extended coupler, a more accurate coupler cut lever there. Still have to add the grab irons that go underneath the headlight, so the ditch lights there. And I'll flip it around. I've done the same thing on this end. One thing I do need to do is there are holes that were pre-drilled that I have to fill because the curved grab irons I purchased afterwards to replace them because they were missing it when I purchased it didn't fit in those holes, so I have to fill those up. Probably going to do that with some putty. Still have a couple of grab irons I have to make for it that go on the side here, as well as I got to replace a couple decals. Obviously I have to work on the red that's just at the top of the cupola there. That's really got to get fixed. But other than that, really happy with how this kit's turning out. Really nicely detailed. There's the better side. Nothing's really been done on the underframe, unfortunately, but I might do something with that in the future. And it's a little lightweight, so the car doesn't like to sit on the track very well. And I do actually have a Trueline Trains caboose down here. This one's actually really nice. So it did come with some damage, and nowadays these things are going for almost $400 or $500 used, because nobody makes them anymore. Kind of a quick little pan over the locomotives I do have and I'm using. Finally got sound installed in my GMD1. Now that Rapido got the LokSound version 5 decoders fitted with the sound. Another new engine I got here was this Grand Trunk and Western GP38 from Athearn Genesis. And a couple more ST4Ds and STB 1500. And I got some more rolling stock on here that I'm working on. There's a couple other locomotives I've gotten here. Some more I'm working on. I've got 2 ST60Fs I'm working on, as well as a number of other things on the workbench. Heading on up back to the layout, some neat little details that I've put on the layout are these end of train devices that I can't remember the manufacturer, but these guys basically just fit right into any coupler you put them onto. I got a couple details like ties, switch stands, pallets, put at the back of the shed here. And then I painted up a couple skids blue, shrink wrapped one because that's a concrete skid, kind of like how we get them at work. A couple more barrels and post pallets of wood. And I got a load here on the ONR car. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to finish this area up, but it's coming along nicely. And one other neat little thing I'm doing, I've just kind of got it over on the layout just till I get motivation to start working on it again, is this station here. And one thing I am doing to it is individual shingles. Now you can kind of see the blue, so I will have to go over it with a weathering powder just to get rid of that. But slowly been plugging away at that and painting it up to kind of like what you would see at West with the dark green and the white. I still have a lot of work to do to get that all finished up, but it's coming along nicely. Another locomotive I did manage to get was a second SW1200 from Rapido. This guy actually has sound. It is a really nice unit. If you can, I definitely recommend getting these with sound. And there's a lot more features on these. Now you probably saw I got another signal here I am going to be installing soon. These are going to be put on over here because it's sort of like a little runaround siding, but I still want to have signals controlling it because it is still off my main line. But other than that, I've got a number of things on the go on the workbench back there, which is a little bit of a mess, but I will quickly go over there and I'll show you what I'm working on. Alright, so over at the workbench here, this is all that I've got pretty much on the go. I have 2 GP38s I'm working on, one that is going to be painted up in the 15th anniversary scheme. Unfortunately, this guy was involved in a wreck. It was a yard switcher unit, and I'm not quite sure the story behind it. I wasn't involved in a derailment, and I'm not sure of its future as of right now. And the other one's just going to be painted up in another scheme. I haven't quite decided yet, but over here I have a lot of the detail parts from Details West, Miniatures by Eric. I got like the snow shields, sunshades, the more Canadian style steps, which actually go straight up and down, whereas like the American style, it's on an angle. I got some new headlights, Canon cab interior, new blower housing, new vents, inertia filters, MU cables. There's a decal that I was going to use. and Canon fans, and some other fuel tank parts. I do have some the cab currently in the works right now. This isn't the unit that I'm using for this. This one is actually currently in some isopropyl alcohol being stripped of its paint, and soon I'll be getting to painting that. Got a few more details in there, like a horn, St. Clair antenna, the bell, and some other lovely parts there. Those are step lights. So really looking forward to starting on that. Just about ready to wrap up my GP9RM. Been slowly working away at this over the last few years, and it's finally ready for paint. Just got to find the time to do it, and I got to get my airbrush fixed. This is going to be painted up with the in a zebra with the yellow and gold numbering. So really looking forward to having that done. I just realized I got to replace that step at the bottom there. That's not a big deal. And to go with it, I've got this slug that I ordered online. I can't remember the name of the supplier, but I will, if I remember to, I'll put a link in the description. Got a lot to work to do because I don't like these couplers sticking way out of the end. Probably going to need a different frame for it, or I'm going to have to figure out something, probably move the coupler boxes back. And got some of the underframe on the go. It doesn't look flush, but it actually looks a lot better than what the camera is picking up. I've got the compressor and a couple other parts ready to go, and I still have to fabricate some other parts for it. Another project I've been working on here is this transfer van. Bent a lot of the grab irons for it, as well as I have the grab irons that go on the end here. They're just in a storage spot, keeping them safe. And then I have to do the same thing on this end, so hopefully that won't take much longer. And I got the roof pretty much all set and ready to go. And then once everything is pretty much all set to go, I'll be throwing this in the paint booth and getting to it, because these are kind of unique to CN. I really like them. I got a couple more parts in here that I've fabricated to put on them. The ones that these are the old ones that I bent. These are just far more chunky than I'd like them to be, so I switched to the brass wire you currently saw on the other end here. And yeah, these are actually looking really nice. And one other thing I've kind of almost got ready to go here, let's set that in there, is this coil car I got from my local hobby shop. It's an Atlas Masterline. Sorry. The top does come off. So I do have quite a bit of work to do on this. I got to get the paint and the decals. I believe it's just done on the CN Boxcar Red. And I've also got a CN wide cab. I know Athearn is coming out with these in at around August, late August, but I really don't like the price, so I'm just working on my own. This guy actually comes with the cab interior, as well as some other cool things that I'm gonna throw on the locomotive. One other thing that I did get for the GP9, and kind of a pet peeve that it wasn't included in the kit, was the proper fuel tank, because these actually got, when they rebuilt the engine, they rebuilt the fuel tank, and they have an angular appearance to them rather than the curved one that comes on most standard GP9s. So really looking forward to getting that finished up and on the layout, because these are probably one of my favorite engines on the CN roster. But I'll definitely keep you guys up to date on that. Definitely got all the paint I need and the decals, so it shouldn't be too much longer now. But anyway, other than that, I do have a bunch of grain cars I'm working on. They're all pretty much finished being built, but now I just have to paint them. They're the cylindrical style from Intermountain, and they're all Intermountain kits, as well as a couple box cars and whatnot. So as I finish those up, I will post videos of them. Kind of like this guy here. So she's almost ready to go. I just have to get proper weights for it because I don't like the metal plate that comes with them. And they just don't work for me. They might work for somebody else, but I gotta go to my Canadian Tire and probably pick up some peel and stick weights that they use on wheels and chuck those into this car. But other than that, that is pretty much it for this layout update, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you later.